This is just like a hack if you don't want to buy the drawer dividers I used on my other drawer, or your drawer is too weak to take the suspension of those drawer dividers because they work on a spring and it's spring loaded and pressured into here and here. And if your drawer is older like mine, sometimes it'll make the drawer bow out. So I want to show you how to make the cardboard insert. Totally a hack. I thought about this last night. This was an issue yesterday when I put the divider in, but I still want to use these drawers for thread. So thus the cardboard ones. Now you could probably use like a stiffer material, but I wanted them to tape into the drawer here and be very flush. So I'm going to show you how I did it with one piece of fat paper, and I'm using just basic cardstock that anybody can get anywhere. So let's put the drawer out of the way. So what you're going to need is I'm using double-sided tape to tape it in the drawer. I'm using rubber cement to glue 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock together. I'm using some black tape to tape the bottom edge together. It doesn't have to be black. It's black paper, so I thought, why not use black tape? And then we've got our cardstock. And the last thing is you're going to need a ruler. Now I measured my drawer. It measures 15 3/4 inches from interior from top to bottom. So I need to add 1 inch on either side of that. So 15 3/4 plus 1 inch is 16 3/4 plus another inch is 17 3/4. So what I do, or what I did, because this was obviously just a thing I designed today, so it's, you know, it's not a masterpiece here. I have my 8.5 by 11 sheet. I'm aligning it with the 1 inch mark. And I'm taking my other sheet and overlapping it. So this end is at the 17 3/4 inch mark, which I know is where I need them to be. And I'm drawing a line in pencil where the 2 sheets meet. Okay? What that does is it gives me an area in which to add my rubber cement. Now, yes, you could go out and just buy a piece of cardstock the right length. But again, this is a hack with what I had in the office. And I wanted to make this really kind of an easy project, because if you decide you want to do this and you want some, you know, just dividers, they don't have to be structural. This is a good way to do it. I'm using rubber cement because I love the way that it sticks. It sticks very well. It doesn't clump up. It doesn't warp the paper. So you could probably use just white Elmer's glue if you wanted, but this is the one I'm using and having the highest success over. And I'm covering most of that rectangle, but I am making sure to get the edges as well. So once we get all that on, take my other piece back and I align it with the drawn line I already made. And again, this is not rocket science or, you know, an art project. This is just a temporary thing. Get rubber cement all the excess off. Yes, I own a rubber cement pickup. No, I'm too lazy to go get it. It's basically a little eraser that erases up all the leftovers. Fingers work just as well. And just make sure nothing came out on the other side. Now, my drawer height is 2 inches. So I need a 4-inch strip. And I am just taking an old rotary cutter blade and my quilting ruler and cutting this at 4 inches. So you'll get 2 dividers from each, from 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11. There's 1, there's 2. And then we need to mark the tabs on the end and the center line. And what I'm using is an embossing tool. You could use like a credit card or something with a sharp edge, you know, just to score the paper. But you don't want to cut through it. So at 2 inches, I'm holding it on here and I'm scoring through the whole thing. This is going to become my fold line. And then on each end, I'm measuring in 1 inch and scoring. And this end, 1 inch and scoring. Okay, now we're going to take a pair of scissors and we're going to cut the 1 inch section up to the 1 inch line, just like that. One more on this side. Then we're going to go ahead and carefully fold this on the crease line. Get a little ruler. You can just, push it down so it's flat. And then you're going to pop up these wings at the end. Okay, so now that is the drawer divider, but you see how it likes to pop open at the bottom? That's where I'm using the masking tape. You have to flip up your ends before you do the tape because you'll end up taping your ends together and that won't help you. So I got my piece of masking tape. I tape on half on this side. Again, not just eyeballing it. This is the bottom, you're not going to even see it. Flip it over. Tape that down, and there we go. So now we can move all this stuff out of the way. And I'll show you what it does. Okay. So then you can slide it in and make sure that it's just going to fit snug. Okay, you don't want it to bow, but you don't want it to flop. That's why measuring from end to end and then adding 2 inches to it is the secret. So get a cloth tape measure, butt it into one side and push it down, and there you go, 15 3/4. Adding 2 inches gets me to 17 3/4, and there's my insert. So now to keep it from sliding around the drawer, I've got double-sided tape here. Before we do that, make sure that you take some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and wipe down the interior sides where this is going to stick. That'll remove any oil from the surface and this will stick much better. So that is another tip. So I've got double-sided tape here and just going to lay it on, and you want to be out to the edge. Just lay it on a bit. Alright, so now we need to stick this in here. So this is a little hack for you. One, grab a piece of, take the piece you want it to measure to, so you have an idea of what it is. Now, take the taper off of your double-sided tape. Now, you're going to want to, you have this exposed tape here and you need to slide it in here. So I used a binder clip and I flipped it back so the tape is on the outside here, and I just clipped the binder clip on the top, not the bottom, and the bottom is where the tape is, the black masking tape. And then just undo the other side, which of course was a piece of cake after that last one struggled. And then you take this clip side away from you, drop in the side you're dealing with, pull this away from where the flange is, and align it the way you want it, and then push this in. Okay, make sure it's straight, and then you can unclip the binder clip and just push these down. That'll help it from sticking when you don't want it to stick, and will be ready to stick when you want it to stick. So now I have my divider in. And so I'm just going to repeat with the second one. And it looks like I don't have this lined properly. Oh, you know what it is? There's a screw right there. That's what's causing this to bow. So I will have to cut around that screw to get this to stop doing that. So let's do the last one. the meters, which are smaller. Okay, they're just little spools. So I'm going to use one of those as a guide, and I'm going to work from this side out. And that way I can avoid that screw section. Okay. You see I'm moving this thread just because I don't have any drawn lines to guide myself, so I'm making sure that the thread works the whole way, and it does. Okay, so there's one, and then let's put this one back. Okay. There we go. So now we have some dividers that will keep these from getting all mucked up in the drawers. I'm going to go ahead and put these away. And I'm going to either do a third one here, or I have like boxes like this where these are all like hand-dyed threads are really special to me. I can just set that right in between. So I'm going to go ahead and finish getting the drawers organized, and I'll show you what they look like at the end. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, make sure you like and subscribe below. You can find the Whimsical Workshop on our website, thewhimsicalworkshop.com, and that has all links to all of our other social media platforms. Thanks for joining us.